King Mwanga the Great, Chapter 2. King Mwanga II found a very hard time during his regime right from the word go. He established his first town at Masajja and built a very big house that he named Mukulu-Tamakage, which meant that a home fails because of its owner. From Masajja, the king moved to another place called Nkawo. Nkawo was a traditional place known for Mvubu clan from where their lord resided. During King Mwanga II's rulership, Lord Kaita of Mvubu clan lived here and used to make herbal medicine on large stone-like tablets called mango. When he settled at Nkawo, fire broke out and charred the palace houses, including the king's cardinal house, Mukulu-Tamakage. This startled the king Mwanga II and vacated the place to mission station at Nalukolongo. Here, the French missionaries welcomed the king. However, he did not stay there for long when his prime minister Katikilo of the time, Mukasa, persuaded him to leave the place. His Majesty stayed at the prime minister's home for a while and left since another mystery hit these quarters with the lightning and the thunder that shook everything. His Majesty was in the middle of the maze trying to square it out. He could not go back to the mission at Nalukolongo, and at the same time, he could not stay with the Prime Minister further. Basamula Mwanga II, the king, shifted his residence to Munyonyo. This town originally had the palace of the late King Ssekabaka Mukabya Walugembe Mutesa I. When Mwanga II reached here, he never appreciated Salama Munyonyo, thus moved further to Mulungo Hill near Munyonyo Shore. It was at the same place that the king who succeeded Mwanga II, King Daudi Chwa II, constructed a house for his son, Prince Kiwewa George William Mawanda. However much Prince Kiwewa George William Mawanda did not become king, he stayed here and married a wife known as Felicitas Kezia Nabisenke on 29th May 1939. This clearly revealed that His Majesty Mwanga II's legacy did not die. It continued to thrive even after his death. He was a unique king. His Majesty Basamula II worked with 4 prime ministers during his rule. When his father, His Majesty Kabaka Mukabya Walugembe Mutesa I died, he had a prime minister called Right Honorable Mukasa from the Musu clan, Ediborat. The king Mwanga II retained Mukasa and helped him a lot in administrative issues. Prime Minister Mukasa served the king until 2nd August 1888, when Mwanga II was forced to abdicate the throne due to numerous misunderstandings at the palace and the kingdom at large. Buganda, as a kingdom, removed Prime Minister Mukasa, and the office was given to Prime Minister Nyonyintono, who kept power up to the last hour of his death in Kabula province during religious wars in Buganda. Upon his reinstatement to the throne of his ancestors, King Mwanga II appointed Apollo Kagwa as his prime minister on 11th October 1889, a decision that was highly opposed by the nobles at the palace. This was because Apollo Kagwa was among the Christian converts who survived execution. Although this was highly questionable, King Mwanga II paid less attention to the matter because his reinstatement had a strong hand over the Christians, and these fronted Apollo Kagwa's name to this position. The king had no choice but to let him be. Like predicted, Prime Minister Apollo Kagwa connived with the foreigners who aimed at reducing the king's powers in his kingdom, Buganda. Kagwa betrayed his king the way Judas Iscariot sold Jesus Christ to the wrongdoers. The whites used Kagwa to get all the military tactics used by the mighty Mwanga during fighting. The king appointed Right Honorable Louis Katabalwa as the new prime minister after Apollo Kagwa. Right Honorable Katabalwa was put in charge of the king's army against the Europeans in 1897 during the war between the Buganda Kingdom and the concession seekers. Unfortunately, the grotesque foreigners on spot assassinated Katabalwa after the capture of His Majesty King Mwanga II the Great.